So not that this form isn't beautiful and everything, but it doesn't do anything. And that's a bummer. So let's make it do something. What it's going to do is add a new message, right? So let's make that happen. So the list of messages is in the chat component, right? So which components are allowed to actually update the state of chat component? Unfortunately, only chat itself. We can only call this.setState from inside chat. But that's what we need to happen, so we're going to have to find a way around that. So we can only update the state from inside chat. So we're going to have to put a method to do that inside the chat component. So let's do it. Let's make a new method called addMessage. Or a new method. Is that what I said? That's what I meant. But instead of just doing that, a simple method, we're going to make it an arrow function, right? That way we just never have problems with binding this again. So we're going to use the same trick we used in React Robots, where before we start fiddling with the array, we're going to make a copy of it. So I'll say const messages equals not just this.state.messages, right? Because that would make it point at the actual original object, not a copy thereof. So to make a copy, we use our new friend, the spread operator, which breaks apart an array into its pieces. So we just put that inside a new array, and we end up with a copy. Then we can push a new message on there. And for right now, let's not worry about getting what we typed in the form. Let's just make it add a new message. Let's just prove that that much works. So messages.push. And let's just push a new message on there. So it'll have an ID, a username, and a body. So what should we do to make the IDs unique? How about this? Yep, thank you. Yes.
Could you just get the ID of the previous message and add one?
Maybe, but
If they're going to be in an array,
that's maybe, but that could be problematic eventually. How about this? Let's put the username out here in a separate variable, const username. And for right now, again, we're not worrying about getting stuff out of the form. We're just going to hard code it. So we'll just put a username in here. Who has a job that they like? Anybody have a job that they like? That's correct. No one on earth. Just kidding. Daniel does. Username Daniel. All right. So I'll make the ID a template literal here. We'll put the username dash date.now. Dave.now. Date.now. How's that? So it'll be a combination of a timestamp and the username, which is pretty likely to be unique.
Wouldn't just date.now be enough?
If this were a real chat app, there could certainly be people who submit new messages at the same time, right? Even though that goes down to like the millisecond or something. Date.now might just go to the second. I don't remember. We'll just do that. It's certainly good enough for what we're doing. And then the username is going to be the username that I just created up here. And then body. What is your job, Daniel?
research intern.
Oh. Sorry, Dana. I love being a research intern.
What would you use for backticks for?
What's that?
The backticks for IDs? I know where it is, but what's the purpose of that?
Yeah, so that's a string that actually has JavaScript expressions embedded in it. Oops, I forgot my $sign here. but inside this is called a template literal, and inside there I can put $ curly braces and put like a variable or something like that in there, and it'll just stick that in the middle of a string. Keeps us from having to concatenate like 3 strings together here. Yeah. So this will push it onto our local variable messages. Now we just need to update state with that. So we call this .set state. And we want to update which thing in state? Messages. We want to set it to what? The variable messages. Now let's see if this works. Never mind hooking it up to a button. Let's just see if this function on its own works. How can we do that? React Dev Tools. They're awesome. I know that word's overused, but it's appropriate here. They inspire awe. So let's find our chat component in our React Dev Tools. I'll search for chat, select it. Tells us our state down here. And notice this, $R. Remember $0? Guess what? In the React Dev Tools, you can select a component, and that component will be set to $R in the console. So $R is this thing. So I can say $R.state. Yeah. So that means I can call the methods that are on it too. So this all works because in the React Dev Tools, I searched for my chat thing and selected it here. And now it's set to $R. So I could totally call $R.addMessage. There it is. Do it as much as I want. Yep.
It's telling me that I have a bunch of errors.
Okay. Just a sec. So the method does work. We can add new messages. Cool. But we want to be able to add them from the form, right? Not from just in here. So what do you think? How could we do that? Give everybody just a sec to think over, then I'll call on you. I have to change the state from inside the chat component, but I need to be able to do that from inside the message form component. What do you think, Troy?
We can push it through as a prop because the arrow function keeps it in chat.
Yeah, why not just pass the method itself as a prop? You can totally do that. You can pass anything as a prop, including, yes, a function. And because there's an arrow function on it, this .setState will still refer to chat.setState. So yeah, message form down here. Let's add in a new prop. We'll call the prop add message because that's what it does. And that will be what? What do I put inside curly braces there? This .add message. Right. No parentheses, right? Not the return value, but the actual method itself. So then a message form, which is a class, that would be this .props.add message. So we need something to happen when we submit the form. So we'll just real quickly add on submit here. And keep in mind, again, in React, these are camel cased. On capital S submit equals, I'll go ahead and make a handle submit function here. So I suppose we'll make this a method, right? This handle submit. So inside message form, let's make a method called handle submit. As always, I'll make it an arrow function. Why? Because I still need to prevent default right now. So what I get here is not strictly speaking the actual DOM event. React puts a little wrapper around that, but it still has things like prevent default and the target and stuff like that. So what do I want to do inside handle submit?
Call add message.
I want to call add message. Yep. So how do I call it from in here? What do I call it from this side? It was passed down as a prop, right?
This dot.
Yep. This dot props dot add message. Because it's a class, the props aren't passed in as an argument. They're available on this dot props. So here's where we passed it in. Here's message form. We passed in a prop called add message, which was set to this dot add message from chat. Down in message form, that is this dot props dot add message. Let's have a look at message form real quick. Here's message form. I do in fact have a prop called add message. Cool. So it doesn't matter what we type right now. It's just going to add the same thing no matter what. But let's see if it works. I do have to type something because I put required on there. Sure enough. Button worked too. Button works too. Cool. So we can add the same message every time, which is not our end state, certainly, but that's pretty cool. Add a hard-coded message when the form is submitted. So we did several new things there. We made a method that updates state, which we did before in Reactor Bats. And some of you did if you made the comment form work. We passed a method down as a prop for the first time. No reason we can't do that. Pass a method down as a prop. And then we called it from down here. And we called it from handle submit, which we attached with the onSubmit prop to the form.